Okay, so we are back with LPT now for this multiplayer video from season 3 of Survivor. First question to you is gonna be to ask you if you can introduce yourself in a few words to other players, other spectators that might not know you from your season.
Yeah, so I'm LPT. I'm from Scotland. So I was in season three of. Sorry if you can hear my dog in the background. I was in season three of Survivor. Made it all the way to top five for getting knocked out. Right before finals. Former Magma player. Obviously, I mean I've been playing Pokemon like the games since I was a kid. But like competitively or any sort of like tournament scene. I started playing drafts um, early last year, so coming up on 2 years
Oh,
now of previous draft experience. Um,
okay.
I came top eight out of I think 90 odd in the first ever draft league I played, and that is the highest performance I've ever had to this day. I really enjoyed season three of Survivor. There was a lot of fun formats, drama. The social aspect was good. Obviously, I mean it's still ongoing as the finals are the top four games literally happening within a couple hours of this recording potentially.
Mhm. Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out.
That was actually gonna be my next question. I was gonna ask you about your experience in that first season. How would you say it has been? How do you feel about your track record there, coming in fifth?
Well, fifth, I it's better than I expected. My goal going in was to get further than Bonoir made it. Um, and I think he finished in seventh or eighth in his season.
Eighth.
So
You finished eighth.
fifth isn't bad. Especially the fact that even though it's fifth out of 16, it's making it to week 12 out of 13, which I prefer to think of
Yes.
it as because that makes me makes it sound cooler.
I mean, yeah, it's just right next to the finale. It's probably one of the more frustrating time to go.
Yeah, even though it was upsetting to go out, obviously. Especially my game versus Sandal, it was such a good game, even though I lost it. It was
It was
really
an amazing
enjoyable.
game.
So I feel like that's made up for it. If I went out and just kind of like got dog walked by both Sandal and Vinny, I probably would have went out on a bit of a more bitter note. But like, even though I did lose very easily to Vinny, the fact that the Sandal game was like so good really made up for that.
So, as you said, your season hasn't ended yet. Just a few days left, just a few fights left. And so I've asked earlier players what made them then decide to come back now and do it again. And I'm gonna ask you the same thing, only how you feel coming back so soon, I guess.
I mean, as you'll know, I originally wasn't going to come back for All Stars because of how soon it was, but the fact that I've went out the start of August and All Stars is starting what mid-September, so it's still, even though it's far sooner than pretty much any other player coming back, it's still it's still like what, a month and a half, potentially up to 2 months. It's a decent amount of time between
It,
seasons to.
it might start earlier than that, depending on planning and stuff, but it'll be around that time, yeah, around September. So you were telling me about how you weren't originally gonna do it, and now you had a little more time than you thought, so that's why you were okay to come back and do it again.
Yeah, I probably always would have came back, but it's just I just really enjoyed season three, so any excuse to get more, and especially, I mean, we don't really know what the formats are going to be like, but I imagine they'll be equally as good this season as they were in, equally as good in All Stars they were in season three, if not better.
Well, that actually brings me to my next question, because I was gonna ask what do you expect from the season? What do you think? If you have any bets on other players that are gonna be here, other maybe the formats that are gonna go on through the season. Obviously, you know a few little things that other people don't know yet, but uh, there's still
Well,
the majority of it you don't know, and you can try and bet on it.
in terms of players, from this season, because I know you've obviously said about some people who you were considering, but the four that I'm gonna guess would be coming back are obviously myself, and then Frankie Keela, and probably Sandal if he loses, or potentially, and then either Sandal or Vinny, whichever one doesn't win. I think
That's fair, yeah.
Keela and Frankie are both fairly likely, and they make sense to bring back.
Do you have any bets from other seasons?
For other seasons, I'll be honest, I really don't know who was in other seasons besides the guest players from this season, and obviously
Okay.
well, I was gonna say and obviously Bon, but he actually was a guest player this season, so
So you're gonna get to meet a few new players then to you this season.
yeah, I mean they are potentially people I know, but I might just not realize that they have been in Survivor seasons 1 or 2.
I see.
You also said about
Um,
formats that I was expecting.
yes.
I said I have no idea any of the formats in 1 or 2. But out of the formats this season, ones I'd really like to see sequels to, because obviously this season we had episode 4 was a sequel to a previous thing, as was episode 9, I
Yeah,
believe,
there are
or 9.
always 2 or 3 sequels.
Ones that I'd love to see a sequel to for this season. Well, I'd quite like to see Chinese Whispers come back, because of course I never got to play that game.
Oh yeah,
Um,
you didn't.
I really cannot stress enough how little I would want the final countdown to come back. It just looked. I didn't play that week, but it just looked awful.
I just keep
Um,
hearing
You don't
reason to
play a
bring
lot
it
of weeks.
back.
Keeping the pace, I really enjoyed that. That was fun to build for. I think that would be a easy one to come back. At least if I was doing it, something similar to the episode 8 format as well could be interesting with scale mons. Obviously not specifically Ash's Pokemon, but another scale mons format could be interesting.
Yeah, that's always a good ring.
You could do
And,
that
like-
with a few different characters here and there.
I'll have like one last question and I will be able to wrap up. It's about what you plan on doing differently this season from your first season. If there's anything you're gonna change about how you played the game.
I think I might try and more actively play the social element, because, and that might seem odd to use, because you might have thought of me as a relatively active social player, but I kind of wasn't. I was more just allied with Omega and just outsourced all of my social interactions to him, which we've seen how that panned out. So
You had a
not
manager
making
offer
that mistake
for
again.
season
I
3.
basically did. Omega was the social manager for me and Vinny, and then we were his bodyguards.
That
Given
is a funny way to put it.
3 separate weeks, one of us jumped into an Elan game to stop him having to go in.